Hello, welcome to IST 538 Fundamentals of XML. My name is Mark Wolf and I'll be your instructor for this summer session that runs 4 weeks. This class is fully online, so we will not meet in person. Everything will be done online via Blackboard and the course site that I will talk about in another video. I thought I would take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. Why don't we start with my first computer, since we'll be talking a lot about computers over the next 4 weeks. My first computer, not to date myself, was a Commodore 64. Perhaps some of you have never heard of it, but you can look it up online. It was the 64, and it had 64K, not gigs, not megabytes, but kilobytes of memory that it used in RAM. And I got that when I was, I guess, in middle school, and did not own a computer after that, believe it or not, until 2000. So most of my childhood and young adult time, I did not use computers. So it's a relatively recent thing for me. Now my whole life revolves around using a computer every day and using all sorts of applications with it. Let me tell you a little bit about my background, how I came to do the work that I do. When I was an undergraduate, I did a bachelor's in history, and I was at Buffalo State in Buffalo. It's Buffalo State, not SUNY Buffalo, but Buff State. And I got my history degree, and at the time I was thinking, well, what sort of profession do I want to get into, and what kinds of training might I need to get? And at the time I was a history major, so all historians like old things, so my understanding of the library profession at the time, that it was going all digital. So I was thinking, well, what aspect of librarianship or information studies is not digital? So my first thought was archives. So that's what I ended up pursuing, was basically an MLS with a track in archival management. So I shopped around and for schools and applied, and ended up coming here to University at Albany. Got my MLS and a history degree. I got a dual degree in 2003. But before I got that, I was doing just taking classes, and I wanted to get a graduate assistantship. And I heard about this project called Inter Pares, which I always forget what it stands for, but it's an acronym. It's International Research on Permanent Authentic Records in Electronic Systems. Basically, it was a research project that I worked with Professor Eppert on, studying on how to preserve digital media, digital records, how to make sure they're authentic. If a judge ever subpoenaed digital records, how do you know you have the real thing and not some forged copy? So at that time, I very quickly went from being in love with old dusty manuscripts to falling in love with digital, and I actually ended up really liking it. I never thought I would, but it was very interesting research, and I did that for as a student for a year or two, and then I worked full-time on the project after I graduated until 2006. So after that, I did a year at Albany Medical College, and I ran a course management system very similar to what we use here in this class and at this university, called Blackboard. The system I used was called Sakai, which is an open source software that's still in use. It's very popular. It doesn't not have near the wide use that Blackboard has, but it's used quite a bit, and you'll see, you can look it up online. But I administered that system for about a year, and took kind of a sidestep in my career. I was not really doing archives, but I was doing just really straight up software and application administration, which I learned a lot. After that, in 2007, I got my job here in the Department of Special Collections and Archives in the Science Library, and my current position is Curator of Digital Collections, and I've been doing that since 2007. And I use XML all the time, and I'll be talking a lot about it throughout the course, about how I use XML to do my day-to-day work. Again, welcome to the class. As you can see, summer is really almost ready to take off if it hasn't already, and by the time the course is over in 4 weeks, summer will be in full swing. So welcome again, and stay tuned for the next video.